The statues which ornament the roofline of Wentworth Woodhouse are more than just decorative elements. Each of them represents a Greek goddess who personified virtues that were important to the Georgian aristocracy. The statue of Irene and her baby, which looks out over the west front gardens, represents the Greek goddess of peace.
This is one of the statues that adorn the front facade of the building. Generally, they're in very good condition. There are some signs that they need repointing where the mortar's failed, as it should do over time. However, what we found is within the carved recesses of the stonework itself, there are some signs of erosion. And this comes quite prevalent on the lady and baby statue, or Irene as we know her, where the sort of erosion was very, very bad, and we've managed to repair her. But this gives you a good idea of the decay that is sort of symptomatic across the statues. So this is Irene, affectionately known as the lady and baby amongst the tradesmen on site. When we stripped down the hoarding that was covering her and sort of protecting her from the elements, it became quite obvious that there was some structural issues with the top and bottom half of the statue. So after a lot of deliberation and careful sort of dismantling, we discovered there was a very large ferrous dowel, I suppose, or sheet of metal within inside her waist. This had expanded and blown and caused several fractures. The top half was in 5 pieces. The bottom half had a large split through the centre of it. So after lots of deliberation and sort of collaboration between the structural engineers, Historic England, the architects, we come together with a plan sort of trying to save her as much as possible. Essentially, in her waist now, there is a very large metal plate recessed within the stonework. That helps to carry the weight of the top. There are dowels that sort of stitch through the metal plate into all of the various broken sections within the Irene's waist. There's a very large area to the front here. You can just about make out where we've sort of doled down the repairs. But essentially it eroded as bad as the statue we looked at earlier, where you had the erosion underneath the arms and within the folds. So we very carefully, sort of using steel mesh, moulded this back using a sympathetic mortar repair and brought it back out to replicate the original folds of Irene. We have stitch drilled through some stainless steel threaded bars to sort of clamp any broken fractured sections together. These have bolts on and then stone plugs recessed over the top, which you can see here. So essentially down her back, attached to the metal plate that's recessed in her waist, we've taken out an old copper cramp that went from her back down to underneath her bottom. We've carefully stitched this out. It was again surrounded and plugged with lead, so we've taken that out and replaced it with stainless steel. That stainless steel is also bolted to the plate within her waist. That's going to stop. We're very concerned about the amount of weight that could potentially tip her forward. So this is just helping clamp her down onto that base again.
So thanks to 21st century conservation and restoration skills, Irene can continue gazing over the gardens safely for decades to come.